Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
So I think that we can start. Welcome everyone to our TrueNFT presentation. Here is the Surf team, and they are ready to present it. And I would like to give a word for the Margarita Ponomaryova. Margarita.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Hello, everyone. We're glad to have you all here. Thank you for joining us. As was mentioned, today we're presenting TrueNFT and we'll talk about it. Just let me share my screen so you can see the presentation.
Yeah, please share.
So my name is Margarita. I am project manager at RSquad. And we'll talk about TrueNFT right now. So what is it exactly? TrueNFT is a technology created together by Surf and RSquad to produce NFT tokens based on Freethon network, as simple as that. What are the key advantages of TrueNFT then? Be sure that this technology allows you to store all the NFT data in blockchain directly, simplify and standardize your requests to find NFT collections and users' tokens, interact with tokens in any decentralized browser or an app, knowing just your address. Plus, you'll be able to transfer your tokens knowing only the recipient's address. Our goal was to examine already existed solutions and develop our own to meet the following requirements. First one, highly user-friendly interface, meaning that the user should have a full stack of tools to cover all his needs, working with NFT tokens, knowing only his Surf address. Then tokens transfer to any users and or systems, knowing only the recipient address. Then displaying wallet tokens, not specifying any additional addresses. Moreover, the system should be universal and highly customizable, keeping tokens content exclusively on chain. When we started the development in Freethon blockchain, some NFT implementations have already been released. TIP3 NFT, for instance. TIP31 has just been released at that time as well. It parallels TIP3 main solutions and also provides new opportunities to contract development. ERC 721 was also a good analog of TIP3. The research of existing solutions reveals the fact that none of them could meet the specified above criteria. For instance, the classical ERC 721 model cannot be used for Freethon as it demands too big mappings. TIP3 makes users deploy additional wallets for each NFT collection, and therefore it could not be accepted as a proper solution as well. Moreover, tokens can only be transferred between these particular wallets and only if you know their addresses. And the problem of creating a separate mechanism of getting all user tokens, knowing only his address, and you'll clearly see in what position we were when we decided to go for a completely new solution for this case. We decided to use blockchain itself as a storage. Another thing was removing all unnecessary user operations, simplifying interaction with blockchain. Thirdly, providing an easy search for all NFTs that belong to the user, knowing only the address of his wallet. And the last one, but not the least, transferring the ownership, knowing only the wallet address. Here, you can clearly see the offered architecture scheme stating the behavior of index bases. Here, NFT root. Here, data, index owner, and index owner root. Each of these components is presented in the following screens. So let's go. As you can see, we use index bases to find all NFT collections in the network. Uniqueness of the address is achieved by adding the address of the NFT root contract and the hash of the data contract code to initial data. Very important to keep in mind that to be considered true NFT, each system must deploy index bases for each NFT collection. Index owner and index owner root contracts are essentially identical and inherit index contract. Index owner allows to find all the tokens of a specific user, while index owner root allows to find all the user's tokens of a specific user. Very important, again, very important to keep in mind that to be considered true NFT, each system must deploy index owner and index owner root for each NFT. Now let's go to NFT root. NFT root is the NFT collection contract responsible for minting tokens and information about the collection as well. Since the contract has its basis, its implementation can be completely different within various systems. The project repository and the diagram only contain an example of basic implementation of NFT root for a general understanding of a system concept. And then data. Data contract contains data of the token and link to the media. It can transfer NFT ownership and deliver some other actions. Like NFT root is a completely customizable contract, since the token might have different set of fields within various collections. Very important to keep in mind that to be considered true NFT, each system must store all NFT data in a data contract or hold links to other contracts within the network. So what can we say about architecture, summing up everything we spoke about? Summing up, here are some things you should definitely keep in mind regarding true NFT architecture specifications. Search indexes cannot be changed under any circumstances, while NFT data and root are fully customizable. Just give me one more second. My colleague cannot enter our presentation as he cannot find the link to it.
Why don't you, I can toss to him if I know his ID.
I just did. Sorry for this.
Okay.
So let's go further and talk about tokens transfer and the scam we can see on our screens right now. So this is a sequence diagram illustrating NFT transfer.
Дайте мне ссылку.
Только что дала.
Спасибо.
Sorry about this. So this is a sequence diagram illustrating NFT transfer. In order for us to change one owner to the other, we need to activate the process transfer ownership address to, which is illustrated here. To apply that data, so it destroys both index owner and index owner root, to then change owner and deploy new index owner and index owner root for new owner. As simple as that. So what else can we say about tokens transfer here? transfer can be presented differently. It could either be a simple ownership transfer from one owner to another, or transfer in some other conditions. Very important to keep in mind that to be considered true NFT, the system must preserve the ownership transfer logic with recreation of search indexes and ownership change in the data contract. Now let's go to tokens minting sequence diagram and see what's happening here. In order for us to activate the process of minting NFT, we need to call NFT root with mint NFT method. So then it will deploy data contract, which then will deploy both index owner and index owner roots. Again, very important to keep in mind that to be considered true NFT, it must preserve the logic of creating tokens with the deployment of data and search indexes. What should be taken into account by developers? Some things cannot be changed under any circumstances, like index contract code, transfer mechanism, and contract required fields. This is a very important information for developers to memorize to use TrueNFT. So here we can see media upload diagram. And as we said previously, TrueNFT stores all media in the blockchain directly. While Drive chain has not been released yet, the media upload example was carried out within the framework of Zero Work chain. Since this is all customizable, another storage contract is added, which stores the data. Media content is stored in mapping, key value storage, where key is a counting number of the chunk, while value is a bundle of bytes. This diagram illustrates an example of large amount of information storage. So here we'll discuss how the media is uploaded. In order for us to upload media, we need to mint NFT, which consists of data and storage by NFT root. Sufficient parameter for minting is setting a MIME type to correctly download the content afterwards. For the author to fill storage with content, he needs to divide it to parts, chunks in our case, to know their total amount and send them to storage. The size of one chunk is always no more than 16 kilobytes. The order of sending chunks is not important, like at all, since we know their total amount and send each with its own serial number. When the last chunk is accepted, storage messages data that upload is complete. Then data deploys indexes. So it works like this. In the development process, we realized that the set of functionality for obtaining data from the blockchain becomes exhaustive when the following four conditions are met, which are, as you can see on the screen, collections, user tokens within the collection, and tokens within the collection. Further, we'll talk more precisely about each stated above condition. So, to get all user tokens, we need to take index owner contract code, add user's address to initial data, hash it, query accounts from GraphQL API with the received code hash, and then get all user tokens of the network. To get all the collections, we need to take the code of the index basis contract, hash it, query account by code hash, and then receive all the collections of the network. To get all user tokens within the collection, we need to take index owner root, sort it with the user's address and the address of the collection of interest, then hash it, query accounts from the GraphQL API with the received code hash, and then get all usury tokens within the collection. To find all the tokens of a single collection, we need to take index basis of this collection, find data code, hashing it, use it to find all the collection tokens, since data is sorted with the NFT root address. So why can we call our solution TrueNFT? Our solution is TrueNFT because TrueNFT are fully decentralized. Minted NFT is a deployed smart contract, and therefore no wallets are required. All the content is stored in blockchain directly. User-friendly interface that can be used on any platform like web or mobile, named dBot. User can interfere with blockchain directly by dBots. How you can become true? All the steps are presented on the screen. Deploy index basis for each NFT root. Deploy index owner and index owner root for each data. Store all data in data contract, or have links to other contracts within the network. Index owner and index owner root together are actually one single contract named index, but deployed differently. Index basis and index are not subject to any changes within any TrueNFT systems. Preserve the logic of ownership transfer with recreation of such indexes and change of ownership in the data contract. That's all the steps you have to do to become true. dApps is a name of one of our projects we do together with Surf and named dApps. So what is it? It is a service allowing to create events and manage tickets. It is based on TrueNFT concept system, which guarantees a quick search for contracts. Key characteristics of the project are the following. The event contract has a complex ticket issuance algorithm, which guarantees the following. Ticket contract cannot be forged. Ticket cannot be activated more than once. No need to print issued tickets. This facilitates the access control procedure, making the system convenient and safe. And anyone can create an event. Now let's talk about how TrueNFT looks like in Surf. First of all, you should understand one thing. As a user, you don't need to do any extra actions. Just download Surf or run it in web and enjoy your experience with TrueNFT. No need to input any extra addresses. No need to provide extra data. It simply works out of the box. You'll see all your collections right in Surf. And now let's go and see what it actually looks like. So you're in Surf. This is a list of collections with the tokens you own. These are the collections with your TrueNFT tokens, like here on the screen. If you're getting a new token from another collection, a new collection with this token will be added automatically in the list of your collections. In this picture, on these pictures, you can see the list of your tokens collections. And in the last one, you can see the data of this token. Here you can go to this collection dBot and do some action with your tokens. Don't forget, if someone sends tokens to you, regardless of your collection relation, it will appear automatically in Surf, which is a great solution indeed. So what we suggest here, don't waste your time. TrueNFT has already have first partner, And this partner is Grand Bazaar, the first NFT marketplace on Freethon, supported TrueNFT technology. Right now, you can integrate TrueNFT technology into your system and become one of the first products on Freethon, which supports the modern technology. As simple as that. And here are some useful links you can use, either to go to Serve, our squad, landing page of TrueNFT, or our GitHub. That's everything we were going to tell you about TrueNFT today. Remember, it was just a technical launch of the technology. Thanks for listening, and any questions or comments or both, I highly appreciate it.
Thank you, Margarita, for such wonderful presentation. Actually, we have a lot of questions on YouTube. Maybe can we start from there?
Yes, sure.
So let me check. So the first question from Ilya Rogov, he's asking, what solutions are there for displaying NFT for token holder, wallets, Explorer?
Hello, everyone. I think I will answer all the questions. As I understand, we told about it when we show surf images. No? Or can you repeat, please, the question?
Yeah.
As I understand, the question was about interfaces.
He's asking what solution are there for displaying NFT for token holder, wallets, Explorer?
Really, I don't understand the question. What solution?
Yeah. The question is how to see those tokens. The answer is very simple. TrueNFT has interface in blockchain, and you can see it in any Freethon browser. One of the browsers is Freethon, actually TonSurf. There are two other browsers which were created by two teams participated in contest. And there should be fourth browser launched very soon by one of teams. So we have like plus minus 4 browsers, and you can use each of them to look to see your NFTs. And the idea is that actually, I think every website which will support TrueNFT will be a sort of Freethon browser. So it means that you can use any website supporting the bots to see your NFTs. That's actually why it is fully decentralized. That's why it is true, because you don't need any centralized hosting. You don't need any website. It's like a glass. Glass doesn't require hosting. It exists as a physical world. TrueNFT exists in the same way, regardless of whatever happens with your centralized project. I think.
Yeah, and I want to add that yes, it's just a blockchain and it's just a contract. So if you want to develop the interface to display it, you can use dbots, you can use existing browsers, you can use manual calling of these contracts. So you can use GraphQL. So you can use everything if you want to develop the interface.
I think, the main idea of it is you don't need anything, actually.
Yeah.
TrueNFT, you have your marketplace out of the box. So there is a plan to organize showing those NFTs as collections in Freethon browsers. So then you can have your, of course, it will be simplified. Probably some marketplaces would like to have some much more advanced interface technology, but you can see all your collections, all your NFTs just in the browser. Period. You do not tie to any project. Once you bought TrueNFT, it's yours. It's only yours. Compare it to sorry to say, fake NFTs in Ethereum, where it's only the line in a contract. So you have a big table where there is a line with your public key, and that line to that line corresponds some link, external link. So that NFT contract in Ethereum fully controlled by developers. That's point number one. So you even do not control your own contract, and then that link goes to whatever they want. And to see those NFTs, you need to go to special website which support that special contract of that special developer. So many specials. Again, it's fake.
Thanks for the answering. Let's move for the next question. What about not this one? Okay, what about making raw audio with English subtitles? I already answered in the comments that we are an international project and most of the presentations will be in English. Of course, some of them will be in Russian. Next question from Ilya. Is it possible to transfer NFT over their bridge to Ethereum?
Yeah, this is a good question. I think that, Pavel, you want to answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me start and then you continue. Sorry for that. Actually, there is an NFT sub-governance in Freethon formed by different people from community who have their own marketplaces or interested in NFTs. And that sub-governance recently started a contest for designing of NFT bridge with Ethereum and Binance Chain. I think it should be ended very soon, design contest, and then implementation contest should be launched. Of course, there are no any analog in Ethereum, for example, in other chains of true NFTs, and you cannot just transfer NFT from Freethon to any other chain. Of course, you can transfer NFTs into, you can make from fake NFTs real NFTs. When you transfer to Freethon, you can upload your media into a special media contract. You can use standard interface for interactions, for like selling, auctioning. You can have it in your true NFT, so you can migrate from other chains. But that, by the way, that should be important part of that bridge. So you can do migration into Freethon. Regarding migration, there is an idea that you can issue certificate. So that certificate will be enough to find true NFT in Freethon. So any marketplace can, having that Ethereum address, find true NFT in Freethon and display it in whatever way they like. They can sell those certificates, but that certificate will be cryptographically. You can be able to pass it through the bridge and get access to your get ownership of your true NFT. So you don't need to rely on any centralized infrastructure for that. So the idea is that that certificate can be easily presented in all current Ethereum kind of marketplaces. So it will get, so that means true NFTs will get access to large audiences, but at the same time, there will be no, you will not sacrifice decentralization, because that certificate is exactly your cryptography proof, and you cannot ask anyone, no any KYC, whatever, to get your true NFT ownership directly. Roman, your turn.
Okay, thank you, but you told everything that I want to say. So maybe I just want to add that there are a lot of questions, yeah, and I wanted to say that there is a contest, and everybody will see what our community will design. So just because it depends on external links, and it will be real deal to bridge it. So let's wait for the contest, and
it's already launched today.
Yeah, I know. So let's wait for juror's decision.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's a few more questions on YouTube. Just a moment, please. Yeah, I see there another question. Is there a scenario possible at the moment as an artist deploy a Type3 contract and display my token on the exciting store? As an artist, I do not rent a store. Yeah, I didn't get what he wanted. Ethereum has tools that
I can.
allow you to check the compliance of the contract, the standards, for example, RC20. Are there such tools in the Freethon for the Type3 contracts?
I think the question was like, if I understood it correctly, that it is possible for an artist to launch TrueNFT by herself, compared to having some marketplace for it. It will require some tool, but it's very simple. So I think that we will launch a number of contests for that type of easy creation tools. Again, launching an NFT, it's not only about deploying smart contracts, also about preparing of media. So I think that effort is larger to prepare great media compared to just deploying it into the network. But yes, the idea is that any marketplace which will support TrueNFT, I mean, you can use each of them, and those TrueNFTs will be available everywhere.
So I have read the question, and the question was about that we can create our own NFT and put it to the existing existed marketplaces. So it's about the NFT design at all. What do I mean? I mean that, for example, if we will take Rarible, they have collections with they work with, and they have their own collection. So if we talk about Type3, like in this question, I think the scenario is possible, and the scenario is easy to develop. Just because logic contracts in collections is really customizable, and you can create a smart contract system which will be marketplace or I don't know, or like a dApps. So there is only one question. So you need to mint your NFT, and how you will do that. For example, I can imagine marketplace which have their own collection and mint, and anybody can mint their own NFT and use some smart contract stuff of this marketplace. If we will imagine that it is the main scenario, so the answer is yes. We just need to create marketplace or use Grand Bazaar, for example. But if we will talk about other systems, so it depends on bridge a bit. But if we have an NFT in one collection in Ethereum, I don't know, but I think that there is no way to move your NFT from one collection to another collection. And this is a real great case, just because we can make something like decentralized bridge in Freethon, which will bridge one NFT token from one collection to another collection. We thought about it, and it is really possible. So if the question was about how to move your NFT in your collection to marketplace collection, or just how to mint the NFT and sell it on the marketplace, the answer is yes. This scenario is can be developed, but now it's not a time to talk about it, I think. Just because we need more systems on TrueNFT, but it will be really soon.
Okay, there is another question in chat in Zoom. The question was what file types can be used, uploaded as a media. First of all, I would like, if you are a developer, I would like you to welcome to read Freethon Whitepaper draft, which was published a couple of days ago. There is information about work chains, and there is information about drive chain, which is used for on-chain storage of media in Freethon. One of work chains specialized for that particular. The whole point is that you can upload whatever you like into as a media into drive chain. The question, of course, will be how Freethon browsers will interpret it. And in that respect, it actually depends on Freethon browser. I'm sure that Surf will support some standard media file types, and as well probably as other Freethon browsers. And of course, but if you have some non-standard, it's actually the same as with any browser. So whatever file types browser can support to display whatever that type of media you can use. If browser cannot support it, you have options. You can fork the existing browser and make your special browser which will support your media type if you'd like, or you just need to switch to another media type.
Yeah, we still have questions on the YouTube. There's
the tools that allows you to check the compliance, yes?
Yeah, correct.
So I want to answer this question. So the question is, Ethereum has tools that allow you to check the compliance of a contract with standards. For example, ERC 721 or ERC 20. Are there such tools in Freethon for tip free? So it's not a tip free, but as I said in the presentation, there was a lot of information about it. So basically it works by code hash. So any contracts in Freethon have their own code, and we can just select the contracts, get the contract's address by this code. So as we said, to be TrueNFT, to be foundable, you need to save the indexes contracts code. So if you will change the code, you will not allow to display in browsers. So there's no need, the mechanism which will prove the contract right. There is mechanism which will not be add broken contracts into selections.
Thanks for answering. There's one more question. What's the schedule for TrueNFT? When can we see it? Any use case being prepared yet?
Yes,
use cases, yes.
Yes, you can check our GitHub. Not our GitHub, of course, GitHub, which you can see at this slide.
Can you drop a link, please?
Someone please drop a link. So you can find their technical documentation. You can find the core of TrueNFT, you can find the indexes code, and you can find the examples of how to code your system. If we talk about utility stuff, so there is Grand Bazaar, for example. There will be another application soon, but we have a lot of examples of how to make different systems, and I think our developers will make a long read about it, where we will develop a simple system which use TrueNFT maybe next month or next 2 weeks. But now there is a lot of examples, so check our GitHub.
Thank you. So there's just a comment from the Ben, being able to buy, sell TrueNFT in real P2P versioning will be amazing. Thanks for the comment. So let's move to the Zoom question.
I can make more comment on that. The whole idea that on TrueNFT you can put all your rules, how you can auction your NFTs, and that NFT will be self-auctioned, so we don't need any special marketplace for it. You can put some figure, some fixed price for it, and whoever will like it will pay. And again, it should be self-hosted in that respect, self-sufficient NFT. So you can have all type of transfers and games programmed for that any particular true NFT. So yeah, that has huge potential. Actually, that's my view.
Thank you. So let's move to the Zoom questions. Eugene Morozov, you raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity to comment. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to both teams. This is an incredible achievement. And I want the whole community and the world essentially to know about this as soon as practical. And I think we as the community members should definitely support this initiative, spread the word, and bring more and more people that are now making a choice which technology they want to go with. We want to reach out to those people so that their choice is obvious. I think that's a worthwhile effort. And my second comment is maybe to Margarita. I noticed a number of typos in the presentation. If you reach out to me after the call separately, I'll be happy to help you correct those. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you for mentioning this. I'll surely do. Thank you.
Thank you. So I see there are a few more questions in the Zoom chat. Pavel's already answered on the media, on the images, right? So there is another question, how to use external storages like Firebase.
I mean, if you use external storage, it's not true and it's fake. Sorry for that. I mean, you'll disappear, you'll start paying for Firebase, then NFT will disappear. I mean, what people actually own, if they own link for some Firebase, which is on your account, and you just dropped your project, so this is it. I mean, your users immediately lose their NFTs. That's the difference.
Thank you. Supported file standards, limitations, types of files.
Yeah, that one I comment. So you can upload any file in Drive chain, which is described in Whitepaper draft. Then the question is whether Freethon browser, particularly Freethon browser, which you plan to use, or supports that file. And as I said, Surf plans to support all standard media files. So then, again, if you need some special media type file, then you can fork and update Freethon browser, or just change media type for your users.
Thank you. Thank you. So.
Oh, there was a question about, yeah, that Firebase not decentralized. It's actually Google project. IPFS, it's a different story. IPFS is kind of decentralized, but the problem is that, first of all, it is not reliable. So you cannot guarantee that you will get, I mean, in a year or in a month, you will get your file, because it's voluntary for that respect, and it's slow. So it's slow in terms of writing, in terms of reading. So it's not that reliable. So you cannot like mint billion different NFTs and get instant access and provide the users instant access to it. And since blockchains in Freethon, they are tightly coupled system, you will be able to access through the whole unified infrastructure all of that data immediately.
Thank you. Eugene Morozov, your hand is still raised. Do you want to add something?
No apologies. I'll lower it now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Is there anyone who has a questions? Just please raise your hand and ask your question. I don't see more comments on the YouTube. What's landing on TrueNFT?
Landing, again, there's landing for the technology, but since TrueNFT is fully on chain, it has interface on chain. You can use any Freethon browser to access and see and interact with your TrueNFT. So there are no web landing. You know that in Freethon we have a saying like where we have web free. Other, I mean, guys having centralized hosting have web 3 and we have web free. So you don't need anything centralized in between a user and your assets.
Thank you. Thank you. So guys, is there more additional questions? How I can land and mint sound, art, video?
Okay, so as it was said in the beginning, it is soft launch of technology. There are a number of NFT marketplaces which already started supporting TrueNFT. So those marketplaces can be used for minting. For simple minting, you can create some simple separate. Actually, I think it could be minted even from Freethon browser, but not now. So technically, it could be technically Freethon browser can support minting of TrueNFTs, but again, at the moment, it's not available. The idea is that more tools will appear during course of adoption. At the moment, of course, they are quite limited because again, it's very all of that is very young in terms of technology, and only few projects started supporting it like a couple of weeks ago.
There is an additional question I see, not a question, comment on the NFT subgovernance. For game NFT, it's not so important to store picture in the blockchain. Its model is still accumulated on the game server. Need to be able to store the image not on the blockchain only.
That's funny. I mean, when people say it's not important, they just think that like that how to say better that process will last forever when you sell nothing to your users. But people will get at some point that they actually buying just links. And since people, I mean, there's a lot of wild money in crypto, and people spend that money because they don't know what to do with it. It's much easier to buy some link rather than to go to the bank, explain how did you get that money. So people just buying it for fun. But going forward, especially for when you talk about mass market, well, people will figure out that they buy nothing, and they will say, why I should buy that fake thing if I can buy a true one.
Pavel, I think you're confusing here two things a bit. I think that the question or the comment from Jewel was about that the logic of the usage of NFT is essential, while the storage of the image itself has a secondary nature.
I think
it's two different concepts. Yeah. Like the actual storage, like you have the image and it's on blockchain, it's one thing, while the usage, the mechanics of the NFT itself don't really involve the storage issue. I think that's what the comment is about.
If you can have
I want to say
something, something better with the same functionality, or even with better functionality, why you need to? That's, I mean, there's no contradiction. I don't see. The problem. That question.
Yep. That's correct. That's correct. Like
how you envisage usage and the game mechanics. That's a different question.
I want to say that you forgot about that TrueNFT is not only the pictures, it's an audio, it's a strings. For example, let's take a case where you sell the keys for Steam games, for example. You can easily store only string. So NFT is not only image. So if you don't want to store the image, you can store the link. I think it will not be a good solution just because of users. But if you need this solution, you can put to data everything that you want. It can be a string, it can be, I don't know, it can be some binary data. It doesn't matter. So the data of NFT is the data of NFT. It can be anything. So you can, for example, as we said, transfer, minting, selling is a really customizable thing. In your collection, you can, for example, make some mechanism. Okay, the same case, you want to make a marketplace with games keys in Steam. You can create datas which you will mint with encrypted, with decrypted keys, and if someone bought it, he will encrypt it automatically, for example. So there is a lot of cases that you can make using this technology. So there is no borders. There are one main thing, that your content stored into blockchain. So content can be everything. So just a binary thing. And about logic, you can make any logic that you want. If someone don't trust me, so imagine the case and ask me in direct messages. I will explain you how to do that using TrueNFT. So okay, I can imagine that there is something that we can do, but common cases, it's really customizable.
Thank you. I see the more comment in the Zoom chat. There are two questions. How will be protected IP rights author collector fund for sound TrueNFT?
As I know, it's not managed by blockchain at all. So we have just a content, and we have an owner, and that's all. So if someone steal your picture, I think anybody knows what we should do.
Yeah, there's no card on the blockchain, as far as I know. The next question, how can we identify all owners of the one NFT if index owner and index owner root contracts are destroyed every time when we transfer ownership?
Can you repeat, please, first part of the question?
Yes, the history of ownership.
History. It is no, okay. We don't have a mechanism to save. So it's a really good question. So using only contracts, I don't think that we have a good enough mechanism to save the history. So we can imagine mechanism with mapping, but we also talk about it. We can imagine mechanism that will not destroy all the indexes, but store price, and there are a lot of different cases which not allow us to do that. But in my opinion, it is blockchain, and so blockchain saves all data. But if you need to display the history, I think there will be we must develop new mechanism, and we must think about it. I don't know. Is using contracts, I mean.
I can answer it my way. Of course, you can modify the scheme and to preserve those indexes, and you will have all the history inside the state of blockchain. But you should understand, I mean, in any blockchain, there is a state, and there are blocks and messages. Blocks and messages are not stored in blockchain. Each node, full node, stores only state of blockchain. For storing all other supplementary data, there is a dApps server in Freethon. Everyone can run that dApps server, preserve that history, and then you can have access. This is kind of off-chain data in a sense that it is not part of a state of blockchain, because I mean, state of blockchain should be compact, otherwise it will grow up quite quickly. It is already now is quite a big thing, but you can check. Having that information, you can check that all transitions are correct, and you can play back those data and see that that data stored in the dApps server is correct one, and like ownership was transferred through number of accounts. Again, it depends on use case. If you need your history data permanently stored in the state of blockchain, then you preserve your indexes. If you need it like time to time just for some research, then you can use third-party services based on dApps server, for example.
Yeah, and it's really easy to make it through GraphQL, I think. So there will take a bit time, but this will take a bit time. But I think that it's easy to create algorithm which will get a whole history of these data and these data indexes from the blocks. It will be really easy using GraphQL.
Thank you. Is there more additional questions, comments from Zoom? I don't see more comments on YouTube. So if there are no more questions, I think that we can finish our presentation, that wonderful presentation. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, thank you all. Thanks for the Air Squad and Surf team for such wonderful presentation. I hope that it was interesting for everyone, and let's move forward. Thank you all.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roman, for managing the call.
Thank you, Eugen. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.